Alright guys, today I'm going to be taking you on a video of my CB setup in my truck. Don't expect a whole lot, and I'm sorry for the wind noise. First off, I am running this cheap eBay antenna, CB antenna. I'm not really sure how tall the whip is. It didn't say and I didn't measure it. It's not huge. I just have it mounted in right here with an 18-foot coax cable. And yeah. Whatever that is. It's really windy. Let's get in the truck. So inside I have the wires ran up through here. It goes under the carpet, so it's all tight and clean, except for, you know, the ugly fuse and black tape hanging out, but what are you gonna do? And then here is the CB. This is a Cobra 29 LX. I got it refurbished on eBay. It's pretty much brand new, except for it doesn't have the PA function, unfortunately. But I'm basically just going to go over like what it does, or what this CB can do, which, you know, it's just like your standard CB, but it's digital, and it's got a few fancy things. If the key would turn, I could show you, but there we go. So, I don't know how well you guys can see that. But it's on channel 19. Oh. Trying to demonetize me, get me in trouble there. So first you have your noise blank and your ANL. I'm not exactly sure what ANL stands for. I can't remember, but I know what it does. I just don't know what the acronym for it. But basically, I always leave it on NBANL because that basically is like gives you your best sound and noise, at least as far as I found. Here's where your mic screws into. Nothing fancy. And then right here is your SWR, your SRF, and your calibration. So your SRF is basically your signal strength from your antenna. So if you key the mic, you'll see it goes up. The higher it is, the better your intake signal is, essentially. And then your calibration, we'll go into that later. And then your SWR, which on channel 19 says it's pretty low, but I've heard a lot of people argue and say that if I can get this hooked up here, that say the SWR meter on these internally are not very accurate, but, you know, I don't know. But, okay, shut that off. So that's your SWR, and then under that is your decibel, so that would be how clear the person who you are receiving is coming in, how clear or how loud really they're coming in, which you can adjust with your volume, which is right here, and your RF gain, which makes it like, I don't know, sometimes it can clear it up a little bit or make them sound a little bit more clear, but it pretty much just makes it louder. And then you have your dynamic. I can't say for sure what that does, but I usually leave it on max, and it kind of makes things clearer. Like, essentially, that's what it's supposed to do, is make it come in a little clearer, and it does work for the most part. Then you have your menu push button right here. So this is your channel change, and press it, and you can set your clock. You can set an alarm clock, a countdown. You can turn off the keytones, the weather alert, and you can do the scan and auto scan, the display color. It's pretty cool. You have blue, green, orange, and red. I usually leave it on blue or green. I think those are probably my favorite. And then you can change your brightness, and that's basically for when you dim it right here. It can be brighter or dimmer, essentially, is what it's supposed to do. So that changes that. I gotta go back down in there and find it. And then you have your contrast, your radio check. You can do your radio check. And then there's more settings you can go into. Software settings. I'm not sure. I don't exactly know what that does. I think it just resets some things. But it resets everything because now the beeping is back on, which is very annoying. Then you have your RF. I already said what that does. Your delta tune. If you are receiving somebody coming in and they are staticky. You turn this up, and it helps like a lot. The Delta Tune works pretty good for that. Then you have talkback. Nobody uses talkback hardly. And you have your SWR calibration, which is the big knob. I will show you how to calibrate that now, which, like I said, you're better off using an external meter. From what I've heard, that they're not as accurate, and they really aren't. So you go to calibration. On channel 20 is what it says to do. And then you key the mic. And if you are in that spec, you can see where it says CAL. That is your calibration, and then you change it through this knob right here. So you turn it back, it goes down. You turn it up, you just want it right in that square, and then you're calibrated essentially. So there's that, and then up here you have your scan. That scans for where you're picking up best on your CB or your weather, which is what this button down here does, which changes between your weather stations.
20% chance of showers.
Yep. So it changes through your weather stations or your CB, and most of them have a PA function. This one does not. And then you have your dim button. And then up here, for the last one, you have your channel 9, channel 19 selector. So it basically chooses between the two. That's pretty much it for the radio. There's not a whole lot more to it that I can say that I know about it, because I'm not a big CB guy. I don't know a ton about them, but I just seen it for a good price and bought it. So that's my setup. I don't have an amplifier. I will have an amplifier soon though. I'm looking to getting one, and I get my SWR, external SWR meter tomorrow. So I will make a video on that and how to properly calculate or calibrate your SWR. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys like it. I know it's a little different than what we usually do, and it's not super fun, but I don't know. CB radios are kind of fun. When you get into them, they're pretty fun to do. But that is it for this video. I'll see you guys later.